I'm up on deck, run up a check. She like the drip, she like the flex, she like the gold I got on my neck. I don't chase hoes, I follow checks. If it ain't money, then what is you saying? Feel like it's saying when it's about the money.
As I drove from the place that I work at, I'm happy for the dough that I scrounge. Put $3 in the tank, homie, what's that? Half a blunt in the ashtray I found. I'm smoking it now, music playing, living the sounds. I smile, look at my city, I'm the village's child. I got a million ideas to make a million in style. But still, I feel my best life, I'm living it now. Unlimited vibes cooking, I'm a slow cooker. My shit working any weather like a cold hooker. I don't bend over for the dough, nigga. I hustle for it and I bow down to no nigga. I knuckle for it, want the money for the show before the show starts. All the coulda, shoulda, woulda, I went no pause. Ghetto fabulous like Project House with 4 cars. Stabbing streets like a Mojo in the courtyard. Alleged, a function popping on the west side. A 7, link with Stevie on the phone, my connection. Lean my seat back and roll my Excedrin. Thinking about way back in the day when a nigga wanted J's and a nigga had braids. No job, no car, no bills to pay. Just fear bad grades going out to play. Now I'm growing up, going out to play. Want pussy, not Pokemon cards on May. No bite, just a Mazda sedan, old tray, and a handle, a Henny in my hand, Ote. Folk rap, baby. Snatch hood. What's up, guys? Main camera here. B-roll camera here. We're out here in the middle of gentrified city, Charlotte, North Carolina. We got downtown pointed that way. We got new apartments being built this way. We got fucking apartments here. We got apartments here. We got Amelie's in the back. I used to work here like years ago. Fuck Amelie's. Yeah, it's not all that good. I really missed the Noda Deli, and the Noda Deli was the shit. And I heard Amelie's pushed them out, but I'm not sure. But that's a great narrative to believe, cause fuck them. Anyway, so we out here, man.
Tell them your name. Tell them where you from.
My name is Nige Hood. My name is Nigel Hood, but all my friends call me Nige, so I go by Nige Hood. And I'm from the city of Charlotte, North Carolina. I was born and raised here. I am a native. I'm a unicorn. I've been around the world in yeah, and I just like making music. I like making folk rap music because folk rap is music about daily life. It's about being you and not really feeling too compelled to do too much flexing as you flex. Because you a star already. That's not just me, that's you too. So, I mean, that's just what I do. Weird Awesome, the EP is coming out very soon. The song is already out, the video is out. Also, the Funkshun video is out. Make sure you check that out.
Funkshun video is crazy.
Yes.
Go ahead, say that.
Funkshun video is crazy. Make sure you check that out on YouTube. Also, you can find me on Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, all those streaming sites. And I got This Is Folk Rap. That's a project up there. And then I also got a project called Book of Folk Rapture 1. Yeah, man. So,
yes, deep. I heard that.
We out here, man.
I heard that.
Chilling with my man Chainge.
You did.
What's the show called?
It's gonna be called Picasso Pull-Ups.
Oh, this is the Picasso Pull-Ups, man.
Picasso Pull-Ups.
Picasso done pulled up on me in one of my usual stomping grounds, Noda. Now more Plaza Midwood.
Yeah, it was weird.
Noda.
Yeah.
We in here. Yeah.
So the first thing that captivated me was the style of music, being able to storytell in a different genre than the demographic that was in the crowd. But the way you storytell, it still captivates the crowd, right? So you fit in at the same time as being in the midst of rappers.
Yeah, man, that shit used to always be weird for me. Like, I grew up in the suburbs, you know what I mean? So, like, I was always like, I'll tell you like this, man. I always like entertaining people. So it didn't really matter like where I was. I always wanted to entertain those people. It didn't matter if it was like a crop of old people, a crop of young people, people I'd never met before from another neighborhood. I just always wanted to entertain them. So I always like kind of had that a little dilemma. Well, I don't know. Like, I guess I'm lucky enough to have like wanted to like face it early and just be like, yo, I'm not hard, you know, I'm cute, but I'm just not like a super sexual ass dude, like, you know what I'm saying? I just like to chill and be me, and how can I just like do that and still impress the crowd? And luckily I'm like talented enough to like make good music, and I just believe enough in what I do. You know what I'm saying? And like I write a lot of songs. I come up with stuff. I record a lot, but I don't put everything out because I know that like I want what I put out to be something I really feel and something I really, really enjoy. And that's something I've learned on this journey, you know what I'm saying? I've learned on this journey not to be too pressed, too like fixated on a certain like position or an idea. Just focus on like why you're doing it and focus on, you know, why you started. And it's really because I like to, I always felt different. Always kind of had things I wanted to say, and at the same time I always wanted to stand out and impress people. So like I found a cool way to merge the two by still being myself, you know what I mean?
That's fire. Like a lot of people can't do that. A lot of people struggle with that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's one thing that turn people around is because they don't know how to do that. Another big thing that'll turn people around, because I've seen a lot of people try to be rappers and all that stuff, and you see the weak fall off all the time, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And another reason that happens is because they don't realize how much of a grind it is, being places, showing up, you know, even when you're not performing, you know, if you could touch on that, because I see you at a lot of places, I see you put your footwork in, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait for that. That was totally the police over there too. They scared me.
Yeah, it's like they just pulled up.
Yeah, I was like, I don't quite remember that.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Charlotte.
So let's get into, you know, that much of it, like, cause people really don't understand that effort.
Man, shit is hard, bro, and ain't nothing guaranteed, man. That's for sure. And that's something that I learned, and it's something that I have a much better grasp of now. But like, I learned that after success started coming for me. And that's kind of why I say, like, don't get too fixated on a particular position or a particular, like, status when you're kind of doing this. I say focus on just consistency. That's all you can do, man. All you can be is consistent. Like, I remember, you know, like, feeling at one point, like, oh, I'm doing these open mics, and then, like, oh, I don't want to do open mics, I want to do real shows. And so then I was doing real shows and getting crowds and stuff. Now I was thinking like, well, I don't want to just do real shows. I want to get paid. I think I should get paid. And then that'll, you know what I'm saying? Though that like is how you should think, but at the same time, you got to understand that it's a lot. It takes a lot longer than you would ever expect or imagine. And sometimes you still got to put more work in, not because you're not adequate enough to get the things that you want, but like sometimes there's things that you want are kind of just on the other horizon. And you actually learn as you're in the business that so much of the business is that thankless shit. Like, you know, coming to shows and having, like, not having your sound check like you should have, or like they said you should, or like, you know what I'm saying, dealing with people bullshitting on, like, you know, the time or the money, or, you know what I'm saying, things like that. Some of that shit you don't, like, take. If it happens to you, it doesn't mean that you're doing it wrong, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to change who you are. I've learned that a lot of times that shit just happens. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
You know, like, don't hold grudges, you know what I'm saying? Be smart, you know, but if you're not gonna fuck with somebody, you don't have to tell them that you don't fuck with them or that you're not gonna fuck with them. You can just find the best, you know, the nice ways to not fuck with them. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
So, like, always keep your dignity about yourself. Try as much as you can, but also don't be afraid to assert yourself too, because that's important. I'm not an expert, but these are the things that I've learned, you know what I'm saying? They paid off for me.
Facts. That's all that matters, is being able to learn and adapt, you know. That's one of the reasons I call myself Chainge. I call myself Chainge for a lot of reasons, but that's one of them, is being able to adapt. You know, you gotta be able to change yourself. If you want to get to the other level, you gotta be able to make a certain change. Some of the reasons that hold us back is just for the fact that we won't allow ourselves to make that necessary adjustment out of pride or whatever it may be, whatever the case may be, you know. So it's good to see you that you grow like that, you know. How about like I told you earlier, your videos are like some of the most creative videos I've seen. So like, what goes into like the thought process of getting videos together? You know, that kind of thing. You going with the director, or you coming up with ideas? How's that process usually go?
Well, the process always works. Like, sometimes the process will start, you know, it might start with an idea from me, or, you know, somebody might reach out to do a video, but it works when, like, either that person is capable, like the production team or the director is capable, and also either has a great idea for a script or is able to help put together or help me put together the script that I have in my head. So like, you know, I've got a video for the song Medicine. It's a studio called Studio Grey Blue in Rock Hill, South Carolina. It was just a great duo. Eargum, that was them again. With Funkshun, it was Applebox Cinema, like a great professional company here in Charlotte. Actually, McLovin, the one where I'm outside performing with Blue House.
That's my all-time favorite, by the way.
Thank you,
yes,
thank
sir.
you, man. That's
yes,
actually done by Lotta, Eric Lottery. He actually shot that, and you know, he's an incredible artist. Like, I'm not even trying to sell him as a videographer, even though he got it if you need it. But he's a great artist. But he killed it. But it's just one of those things where people, if they take what they do seriously, it comes out good. Like, their videos y'all ain't seen. You know what I'm saying? And it's just kind of because of that. And I think that's kind of helped me out in the whole long run, because I don't have, like, I'm not like an artist. I've got a lot of material out, but I don't have like a lot of material out. Like, I've got like 4 great videos, you know what I mean? But I'd like to have that rather than just a bunch of, you know what I'm saying? Just ones you don't even want to watch, you don't finish, you know?
You got a steady pace. That's the important part, you know. You definitely got to treat the game like a business. Last thing we'll talk about, you know, is you know, the interaction that you get from the crowd. Like, I know you lead your own story. You know what I'm saying? And I know you got the idea, because I rap too, you know. So I know the idea you leaving, that you hoping that they catch and follow your way, follow your journey, that they pick these things up, you know. If there was something like you wanted to talk to about, like maybe something that you try to hint to maybe in your music, or, you know, something like that to the fans, that you do you got anything like that?
Yeah, man. I feel like ultimately the mantra is self-acceptance and self-celebration. And just celebrating life. I know, like, I mean, to a degree, that's so much of music in general, but I think that when it comes to folk rap, it's like I want people to feel, because this is not always just my truth. Like, I've gone through, like, struggles myself, you know, and I want people to feel comfortable with who they are, and to be able to embrace and also feel fearlessly comfortable with other people. And that's also another thing. Like, I mean, there's so many spectrums of, like, kind of wokeness and like people's, so many ways self-confidence manifests itself. And I think a lot of times we'll be confident in ourselves, but like not inclusive, or like there's like a kind of like a fear of, you know, competition, or a need to have to kind of like put somebody else down. And that's never really come easy for me. I used to think that it meant, like, I guess I used to have like a nice guy worry complex, because like I want to see other people win, but like ultimately that's what I want to encourage people. Like, I'm, you know what I'm saying, I'm pro-black, but I'm also pro everybody fucking and getting along, you know what I'm saying? So like, that's really the message of folk rap, is just like, love yourself, but also don't be afraid to love yourself, but also don't be afraid to love everybody, and don't be afraid to think critically enough to find the fun in the struggle, but also, like, you know what I'm saying, the irony in like the supposedly good things, you know what I mean?
That's dope, bro. That's dope.
Yo, what's good, man? Yo, y'all ready? You got this drinks, though? You know I got the smokes. Yeah, I keep that. I keep that. Nigga. Big afros, the girls gone natural. Looking at themselves in the mirror of the bathroom. Stepping out the motherfucking door like a classroom. Teach niggas about life, man, it has rules. He ain't gonna pay you no attention unless you got juice. And the jug is the boy right now. Party people, do your dance on the floor right now. I peruse through the party and explore right now. I see the cool kids with no cares at all. The legends in the building, if you don't feel it, you will soon. Trojans in my pocket for the hoes who want the horsepower. Opa came through with the haze, set it ablaze. Smoking section everywhere, it's looking like a forest fire. Where we at though? This the function. This the function. Where we at though? This the function. Man, this the function. Yeah, this the function. I see the cool kids with no cares at all. Feeling like I'm Drizzy, got my city on the hotline. Guess the home team looking for a home run. Ball pass full of sticky, icky. Yeah, you know how we do, man. Saturday, plug up the amps, man. 01. Bring out the drum kit, let's have a house show. House show. House show. Ow, ow, ow. Have a house show. Big afros, the girls gone natural. Looking at themselves in the mirror of the bathroom. Stepping in the motherfucking door like a classroom. Teaching about life. It's the function. Big afros, the girls gone natural. Looking at themselves in the mirror of the bathroom. Go natural. Go natural.